Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Gul Knowledge Hub, your own YouTube channel. Welcome my YouTube family. Here I am going to discuss with you an important topic, and the topic is how I became influent, how I became fluent in English by my own. I will share 5 practical tips with one extra tip to be fluent in English fluently. So let's start our video. It is a reality that learning a new language is often time consuming because there are grammatical expressions, grammatical rules, new expressions, reading a lot. It seems quite difficult. It seems quite hard for us to read a lot and to absorb expressions and grammatical rules. Sometimes we feel that we should give up, but don't give up, because I am going to share my own practical 5 tips with you, with one extra tip to assist you in your process of learning a new language fluently. So let's start. Number 1 tip is create an English environment. This was what I did in the beginning of my journey. What I did, I created an English environment by converting my apps in English in my mobile phone, by labeling daily objects of life in English, and I stopped translating the words and expressions in my native language. Rather, I sought the help of Google to find out the definitions. In this way, the words and expressions were stuck into my mind. Apart from that, I created an English environment by watching different kinds of movies on YouTube, by watching newscasts, by watching cartoons, and in this way, I created an English environment around me. Number 2 tip which I am going to share is very important. Practice. Speaking practice. Yes, it's a reality. Whatever we do in our life, whether we surround ourselves within English environment, whether we listen a lot, until and unless we speak, we can't proceed. We can't be ahead in our journey of speaking English fluently. The reality is that we have to speak. Ultimate result is to speak aloud. So practice it by yourself, because it's a reality that no one has the opportunity to go abroad, to go foreign country to speak with some native speaker. First of all, you have to speak with yourself. This was what I did in the beginning of my journey. I started to talk with myself about the daily happenings, about the daily routine, about my day. And in this way, I developed the habit of speaking words, sentences, and expressions out of my mouth. And in this way, I trained my mouth muscles, I trained my mind to think, and I trained my mouth to speak out those words and expressions in English. This is very helpful. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself about whatever you like, about your daily routine, about your daily happenings, about what you did in that day, about the weather, what was that weather, about the weather conditions. Each and every aspect you can discuss with yourself all alone at your home, but you have to speak out, because speaking aloud or speaking out English language is the most important ingredient in our journey of learning a new language. Number 3 step which I am going to share with you is that listen more. Listen more. The more and more you listen English, the more and more it gets absorbed in your brain. It's reality. Listen whatever comes in front of you. Listen YouTube videos, listen podcast, listen news. By listening, it gets stuck into your brain, because you might observe that in the beginning of a journey, a child listens first and then ultimately he speaks. This is whatever happens with my case. I started listening different kinds of songs, English songs, listened different kinds of English movies, newscasts, and in this way I began to develop my habit, and by listening it became stuck to my mind, and when I tried to speak out, words automatically were poured into my mind, and it was the blessing of listening. So dear audience, you have to listen more and more. Number 4 tip, which is very important, learn grammatical rules. Because without grammatical knowledge, you can't understand, you can't even produce different kinds of sentences, you can't make even a simple sentence. But don't cram rules. Learn a rule, apply it in the form of sentences, create and produce sentences. When you are able to create and produce sentences, for example, if you are reading present indefinite tense, you don't have to learn that first there is subject, then there is verb, and then SRES, and then object. You just have to create sentences. Sentences, simple sentences. I like this, he likes this, she likes this. In this way, your mind is structured to produce sentences of daily habit, routine in this formation, and in this way grammar will not be difficult, grammar will not be boring for you, and you will rather enjoy your process of learning English language. The 5th and the most important is that enjoy your journey, have fun with it, live in English, because until and unless you enjoy your journey, you can't be successful. If you take it as a burden, you can't learn. If you take it as a boredom, you can't learn. But if you feel pleasure, if you feel happiness while learning a new language, it automatically gives you reward. Because when we get bored or when we get disturbed by something, we can't achieve. But when we are involved in that journey, when we are happily involved, we ultimately get the result of success. So live and have fun with English. Have fun with grammatical rules, have fun with expressions, try to learn new expressions happily. And in this way, your English level will be enhanced in no time. The extra tip, the bonus tip. And the final tip is that read aloud. Take a book, take a piece of paper, written in English, take a newspaper, take whatever comes in front of you, just read aloud. What is the benefit of it? In the start of my journey, I started reading aloud. By starting reading aloud, you are automatically listening to your voice. And if you are listening to your voice, the words and the expressions and the sentences are stuck to your mind. And if they are stuck to your mind, you will ultimately speak out. So, by reading aloud, whatever accent you like, whether it is British accent, whether it is American accent, whether it is Indian accent, it doesn't matter. Accent doesn't matter, but your pronunciation will be improved. So, you have to read aloud. In this way, you will gather information, you will get better pronunciation, and you will get a better version of you. And these are 5 tips with 1 extra tip, and in this way I started my journey to become fluent, and this was very helpful in my journey of learning a new language called English, because there was no English environment, and in this way I created the environment. I started speaking with myself, I listened more, I have fun with the English language, because I was very excited to learn new language. I was very excited to learn English phrases. I was very excited to learn English grammar rules. It was not a boredom. It was my conscious effort that I was doing something great. I was learning a new language. It's a great adventure. There was nobody around me who could speak English, but I was speaking English on my own. And this was the consolation. And it was great consolation, dear audience, that pushed me and motivated me to speak English fluently. Feel this fact that you are a one person who is more courageous, and who is the person who is apart from his native language speaking English, speaking another language. You have advantage over other persons. So by thinking and by absorbing this fact in your mind, you will be able to speak language fluently. If you like the video, kindly share and subscribe it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.